It's Armored Saint right here on your Classic Metal Show with Win Hands Down. Now, I know, Chris, you're a huge Armored Saint fan. Armored Saint, one of my favorite bands, definitely in my top, I'm going to say top 5 to 6.
Okay.
And give me your thoughts. Armored Saint, a lot of great albums spanned over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they were better early on, or do you think they're at their strongest point now?
You know, that's real. I mean, where's the middle? Symbol?
I'm going to say maybe like nod to the old school.
Okay. So anything before that would be one era, and anything after that would be the new era?
Yeah.
I'll take the before era.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, because Symbol of Salvation is my favorite that they ever did.
Okay.
And March of the Saint is great, and Nod is great, and I mean Nod is just kind of like thrown together stuff. I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was just to put something out there because they really hadn't put anything out in a while.
Let me look up their catalog real quick, just to be. I feel like I believe my initial instinct on that, but I just want to see their album list to be positive. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that the new albums suck at all. Like
La Raza, I thought was great. Win Hands Down, thought was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, just powerful. I mean, it's like it seems to me, and again, I love Armored Saint. I love all the old school stuff. I mean, because obviously that's how we know who Armored Saint even is.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 2 releases since their, I guess, return, very strong, and fits very, very nicely in the Armored Saint catalog.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a remarkably consistent band. I'm looking at it, I would say that the Symbol is the exact middle. But basically they had an era where they were putting out a lot of shit from 83 to 91. Symbol was in 91. Then they took the 9-year break, and they came back in 2000 with Revelation, Not of the Old School, La Raza, Win Hands Down, and then Carpe Noctem, which is the live record. Yeah, I would take the first half.
Okay.
Delirious Nomad, March of the Saint, and Symbol of Salvation. These are fucking killer records.
Yeah, and with that catalog, and granted, John Bush, joined Anthrax for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But with that catalog, and being the fact that they were one of the very early LA hard rock / metal bands.
Yeah.
Our good friend Bob Nalbandian kind of gave us a little bit of a history in your absence when he co-hosted the show with me.
Sure.
But Armored Saint was one of the early forerunners.
Yeah, they were like the big band for a minute.
And it's just amazing to me with the body of work that they had and the phenomenal records that they released, that they were not bigger.
Yeah, it never made sense other than they were a little too hard to be. They were hard enough that the hair metal fans didn't dig them. They weren't hard enough that the Metallica fans dug them. They were right in that middle ground somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's in many ways same as a band like a Metal Church.
Yeah, that's another one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, but they never blew up huge.
Mm-mm.
Because same reason. They weren't quite hard enough for that Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, Exodus, Testament core fan group. But they were way too hard for the
hair metal group.
Yeah, the hair metal people. They were in the middle. And that's why I think that those 2 bands specifically didn't make.
Yeah. And those happen to be 2 of my all-time favorites.
I love them. Dude, don't get me wrong. Armored Saint is one of my all-time. John Bush is one of those fucking sing the Yellow Pages, and I'm fucking listening to it.
Yeah, no kidding.
He really is. I mean, he's so good, and he's so consistent. I mean, the new records are great, although, I mean, Revelation, I didn't like that especially a ton. Didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. La Raza was pretty good. Win Hands Down, I thought was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, Delirious and March of the Saint and Symbol, you ain't touching those. None of the new stuff. There's not one song on the new from 2000 to now that I would put over Dropping Like Flies or March of the Saint or any of that stuff.
Right.
Just no. Love them though. I definitely love me some Armored Saint.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, just wanted your input on that.
Sure.
Just good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Here's something that we covered when this happened, and again, this all goes back to the whole hero worship stuff.
Okay.
But apparently, Seattle, the city of Seattle, will be commemorating Chris Cornell, former singer.
Yeah.
With a statue of Soundgarden. Yeah, singer of Soundgarden.
With a statue.
A statue.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, let's find out.
Okay.
Chris Cornell will be commemorated in his hometown of Seattle with a statue that will be raised in a public ceremony on Wednesday, August 29th. His widow, Vicky Cornell, commissioned sculptor Nick Maras to create a life-size bronze statue showcasing the rock legend. I have a problem with that, but that's just me. In one of his iconic poses with his signature boots,
Would that be his Jesus Christ pose? Just curious.
Dog tag, layers, and long locks. She's donated the commemorative figure to Seattle's Museum of Pop Culture. So she basically had this thing made.
Okay.
And then said, oh, okay, I'm going to donate this to the museum. So it's not like it was commissioned by the city or the Historical Society or anything like that. This is just the widow saying, hey, I'm having this statue made. You guys can have it.
Wow.
But make sure you guys put it up somewhere, will you?
It's great.
Even though Chris's music touched the lives of millions around the world, there is no better place than Seattle to honor and celebrate both his contributions to the music history as well as Seattle's unique place in popular music with the enduring symbol of a beloved artist, father, and husband. Because that's what people remember him as a father and a husband.
And a master ropesman.
Yeah, exactly. Our children and I are deeply moved by the continued outpouring of love, compassion, and support, and this is our gift to the museum.
All right. Well, what do you say to it? I mean, the wife built it.
Yeah.
It's not like there was some outpouring of people that wanted this fucking statue.
It's not like having the Lemmy statue at the Rainbow.
No, it's his wife wanted to fucking try and capitalize on his name, keep him alive. So
I guess, a guy like Lemmy getting a statue, that makes sense. Because the guy was a 50-year icon.
Yeah,
influential in every way. This guy was, and I'm not going to diminish his, and this is my opinion, but I'm not going to diminish his contributions and his talent as a singer and songwriter.
Yeah,
he's not a legend. Do you think?
He on the cusp. I don't think legend in the same breath as Lemmy, no. But I mean, for the 90s, just for the 90s,
yeah,
he was by far and away the best vocalist of that era, of that grunge era. He was by far the best vocalist.
Okay. But he was the best vocalist out of what, six bands that really made it?
Yeah, and I mean, look at who he was up against. Scott Weiland, who was not a brilliant singer.
Lane Staley.
Cobain was not great. Yeah, I mean, he was the best pure singer. Who Eddie Vedder. I mean, it's hard. I would not say legend personally.
No, Dio, legend.
Yeah, Dio's a legend because he had 40 years of pretty much all success.
Yeah, Lemmy, legend.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell, not so much.
No. No, really not. I mean, in the end, I mean, what did Soundgarden have? 3 really big records? 2 really big records. They had, what was the one? A Bad Motorfinger, and the one with Black Cold Sun.
Super Unknown.
Super Unknown. And what was the other one? Down from the Upside. That wasn't really that good. And that was it. And King Animal later, but nah, not legend. All right, I take it back. There's really no call to call him a legend.
He's not a legend.
Oh,
and he was a artist, singer, performer who offed himself.
Yeah,
not legend.
He did well with Temple of the Dog, but still not legend.
That was one record.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, he didn't have that much success. I mean, he had big success, but he didn't have. He wasn't Garth Brooks either. You know, if we're going to go to somebody that's current, that is definitely legend, would you say Garth Brooks?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Garth Brooks.
The guy has sold more records than anybody.
Yeah, and every time he touches anything, he releases a diamond record. Now, is he the best singer in the world? No. But the guy has a fucking amazing gift.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix, legend.
Yeah, and again, not my thing. I don't like Hendrix.
Well, regardless if you like him or not, but yeah.
Yeah, legend is a big word for that. That's a wife trying to make her kids feel
well,
good.
That's kind of where I was going with this.
Yeah, Oh, that's right. He was also the singer for Audioslave. Let's not forget that project.
Wish you had the crickets.
You didn't like Audioslave?
No,
I didn't either. I'm not a Rage Against the Machine fan, so them with Chris Cornell did nothing for me. Oof. Nope. Nah, not legend. Good singer. If you liked grunge, you had to like Soundgarden. That's just like a rule, but yeah. No, he's definitely in the same boat as like Kurt Cobain. Singer. That's where we'll leave it, as singer.
Yeah.
Best singer of his era. But not legend.
Well, I read stuff like that and you know the big build up for it. I'm just like
well, you know what? It would be another thing if like the city of Seattle had voted some referendum to build this statue or some shit.
Well, that's what I was trying to make a point of here.
Yeah,
that this was not commissioned by, you know, the Art Institute or the city of Seattle because of the great loss that city suffered.
Right.
You know, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just like, I'm the wife. I'm cashing in on what money this guy made. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of it. I'm going to build a bronze statue. I'm going to donate it to the Pop History Museum and say, here, make my husband a legend.
Yeah. And let's be honest, when Cobain offed himself, there was a lot of outcry for him. There really wasn't a lot of outcry for Cornell, was there?
Not that I'm aware of.
A couple of weeks of bands running around singing Black Cold Sun poorly. That was it. I mean, that really was it. Was there anything else? I mean, it's not like it's been going on all year where people are still like, oh, my God, we found this lost track that we can't wait to release.
I don't think so.
No, whatever. Bye-bye, Cornell.
Right.
I mean, honestly, have you missed him in the last year?
Not me, but I've never been a fan.
Yeah. I mean, I've listened to the record, but I pull out Soundgarden about every 6 months. I'll pull out a Soundgarden record and run it through once, and I've probably done that once since he died. You know. Yeah, good question here, sort of in the chat room from England here. Then Chester tried to cash in on the craze. Is Chester Bennington a legend?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, another no.
No, he's not a legend.
Yeah. It's just a middle of the road band.
Yeah. Well, let's run down legends.
Okay.
In your mind.
Okay.
Steven Tyler?
I guess.
What do you mean you guess?
Yes. I again, it's hard for me because I'm not a huge fan.
Well, again,
I understand his talent. I understand his talent, but what has he done that's legendary? He's just put out 25 years of shit music and 10 years of really good music. I mean, if you really want to put up...
But I think what you have to go by is, like, how influential has Aerosmith or Steven Tyler been?
I agree, but it's hard to call anybody a legend that has the last 26 years of their career been total shit.
So you basically are saying that their legendary status is tarnished because of the late music that they did?
All right, the late music would be the last 2 records. I'm talking about 20 fucking... what's the last good record that they did?
Permanent Vacation. Yeah.
Pump, maybe?
That was 87 and 89.
Yeah. So how many years ago is that? 28, 30 years ago?
30.
30 years ago was the last time this guy put out a good record. And it's not like he hasn't put out music. But I mean, look at the turds he's put out for 30 fucking years, dude. 9 lives.
Are you sure Just Push Play isn't in the top 10 of all time Aerosmith records?
Dude, it's in the top 10 of our list that has Methods of Mayhem, Bag, and Lynch Mob or whatever that was. That
right.
Smoked this.
All right. James Hetfield, legend?
Hetfield? I would have to say yes on him. Just Metallica's reign is still tremendous. And they only had a couple of bad years. Well, no, they had 10 fucking bad years, too. Jesus, all right, I'm changing my stance. No. Great musician, not legend.
All right, Hetfield, no legend.
Yeah, and I'm a Metallica guy.
Okay, Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm going to say yes on the Oz, man.
Yeah. Ozzy, definitely legend.
Because, Black Sabbath and Ozzy are both huge. And... being fair, that last Black Sabbath record was pretty fucking good. So he at least ended on an up note.
Which one are you talking about? 13?
13.
Okay.
You didn't like that?
I didn't say anything about it. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, 13 was pretty good.
Okay.
I like that. All right, I say legend for Ozzy.
So are you basing whether somebody gets legendary status because they put out declining music in their waning years?
It's part of the criteria, yeah.
Okay, all right, because I'm not looking at it from that angle.
Oh, dude, I mean, if you're gonna look at just somebody that had a short run of greatness, then the boys from Hanson are legends.
No.
They had 2 diamond records, or at least one.
Yeah, but that's not legend.
Okay,
and we're going with iconic status of an individual, not of a band.
Yeah, I know.
So Hanson is a band, so you would have to pick one of the Hanson boys to be a legend.
But they're also cute.
Oh, whatever.
No, I mean, for me, like Steven Tyler, to me, Steven Tyler is bloatedly overrated. I would put Steven Tyler, truthfully, in the same box that I would put Bret Michaels. Couple of good records, 2, 3, 4 good records, and then a bunch of shit. Would you call Bret Michaels a legend?
No, of course not.
And there you go. Why? Why is he different than Steven Tyler?
Because Steven Tyler came in at a time when he was the forefather of, I guess I hate to use this term, but Steven Tyler sort of was like one of the influences or forefathers of a lot of the hard rock and metal that followed in the 80s.
And you wouldn't say that Poison was one of the forefathers or Bret Michaels of hair metal?
No, I'm just saying that they weren't doing anything what I would call influential.
A lot of people started acting like them when
but a lot of them were doing the same thing at the same time, though.
Yeah, but none of them had success. They brokered it.
Well, again, that's why I'm asking the question. What are you basing legendary status on in your mind?
To me, it's start to finish of their career. Lemmy didn't dip. Lemmy didn't have he didn't have a 20-year shit
So you have to be consistent all the way through to be a legend in your mind.
Not necessarily all the way through, because some of these guys take risks, but a guy like Steven Tyler has 30 of his 40 years of being shit.
Okay.
And Poison, same story. Bret Michaels had 5 really fucking great years, and then the rest of it was just garbage. Up until now.
Okay.
When was the last time? I would say that Poison and Aerosmith released a great record around the same time. That's the last time either of them did, was around 89, 90. No? When did Native Tongue come out?
Native Tongue came out 93, 92, 93.
So then that would make them more currently. They had a good record more recently than Aerosmith. So I would have to say that they're in the same boat as Steven Tyler.
Okay. Well, let's go to another one here.
Okay.
Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, I would say Dave Mustaine hits the legendary status.
Why?
Because he's been consistently excellent.
Okay, so your criteria of legend or not is whether they continued to be excellent or not.
Yeah, because to be a legend, you got to be better than the average guy. The average guy can do 2 or 3 fucking good records and then just muddle through a career. To be excellent pretty much all the way through in an art form is there's only a few of them that have done that. Mustaine is one of them. Now, has he had bad records? Sure, he's had 2 or 3. Risk and Cryptic Writings and The World Needs a Hero. Those aren't very good records, and Super Collider. But overall, if you look at his career, he'll dip for a couple of years and then he'll come back.
All right, Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, legend.
David Lee Roth.
I wouldn't put him in the legends category. I'd put him in legendary personality, but not a legendary musician.
Okay. Well, can you name any?
Legends?
Yeah, just what you would consider a legend.
I would put Dio in there.
We already talked about him.
Dimebag. See, there's just not a ton of them.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask now again. Here's my question.
Okay.
In your mind, if Dimebag hadn't gotten blown away on a stage, what makes Dimebag a legend?
Well, he doesn't have any really lousy albums.
Okay, so again, you're just basing it on just body of work.
Yeah, his body of work for as long as he lived was consistently good. He doesn't have Smoke This. He doesn't have Just Push Play. He doesn't have Shadow Life. If you look at his catalog of music, as short as it is, they're all solid records. Even that fucking half a shitty Damage Plan wasn't terrible.
All right, how about Vinnie Paul?
Well, I guess by my criteria he would be, but I don't think of him as that.
See, that's kind of where I'm going with this. Is just like, why is Dimebag a legend, but Vinnie Paul, who played side by side with him, not?
Because I don't think there were a shit ton of people that were grabbing drums to be like fucking Vinnie Paul.
It gets into a real slippery thing, doesn't it?
It really is. It's hard. I think you almost have to judge 1-to-1. Like right now, they're saying Alice Cooper in the.
Yeah, Alice Cooper, definitely legend.
See, I would have to say that he is, but I would also have to say that he had a lot of shitty albums too.
Again, Alice Cooper. Okay, well, let's veer away from music just for one second.
All right.
One of my favorite all-time people, Evel Knievel, legend or not?
Oh, of course, he's a legend.
Why is he a legend? He had a lot of crashes.
But he still did. Dude, he risked his life for the fuck of it. That's legendary.
Yeah, but he had failures, though.
They weren't failures. People love to see him fuck himself.
But if you go by the same criteria of failed albums, he had...
No. There's a big difference here. Let me explain the difference.
Okay.
With music, you want good stuff. You don't want... Nobody's buying an album hoping that they hear something really shitty. You watch Evel Knievel as much to watch him fucking almost die as you do to fucking clear the clear the thing. In fact, most people would rather watch him crash. I would rather see Evil fucking fall on his head than I would fucking clear 15 buses easily.
But I'm going to bring this
legend.
Well, I'm going to bring this around.
Yeah.
The reason Evel Knievel, in my mind, is a legend is because he was a forerunner of doing something nobody else was doing, or he was the godfather or the influence for a lot of people to follow.
Dude, they have a whole industry based on Evil, the X Games.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. They don't have a whole
but it's not based on his body of work. It's based on his legendary status of doing something that influenced a lot of people to come after them. Now bringing this back to the music now.
Yeah.
A few of the legends that I think are legends that you are vetoing as a legend because of their later shitty work.
Okay.
It doesn't negate the fact that they are or were influential on people to follow.
But see, to me, a legend has to be above the average guy.
Uh-huh.
I don't see Steven Tyler as above the average rock musician. He is Hanson. He is Hootie and the Blowfish. Had some big, giant, huge success, but couldn't follow it up for most of his career. That makes him not a legend. I don't think like Axl Rose, not a legend. Had a brilliant fucking first record. I mean, brilliant. Anybody that argues that Appetite for Destruction is not as brilliant a debut record as there ever was is an idiot. Even if you don't like Guns N' Roses, you have to acknowledge that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that being said, what's the rest of his career been? Use Your Illusions were okay. Spaghetti Incident was covers. Chinese Democracy was what it was. Middle of the road to worst, depending on who you are. What? That guy's not a legend. He's had 30 fucking years of bad and a year and a half of brilliance. So he's not a legend. He's just somebody that hit when the fire was hot. Steven Tyler hit when it was very hot, but then couldn't follow it up. Like Dio, whatever project that guy was in, he fucking made it better. He made Black Sabbath better. He made Rainbow better. He made Dio amazing. He's a legend. Nothing he did had a fucking dull period, had a bad period in it. Nothing. Evel Knievel, legend because he changed the way people looked at high-risk things. You know, he turned high risk into his own industry. High risk was Evel Knievel. Who else was it in 1970 whatever to 80 whatever in Evil's run of time? Who was number two?
You never remember that.
There was no number two. It was Evel Knievel or nobody. That means he was the guy.
Right.
He was legend for as long as he did it. And it's not like at the end of his career. I'll take this out of music into sports. We'll compare Evel Knievel to Chuck Liddell. You know anything about Chuck Liddell, the MMA guy?
No, I do not.
All right, Chuck Liddell was a fucking monster for about 4 years. Unbeatable. Absolute people feared fighting Chuck Liddell. And in the end, Chuck Liddell's last year, he got his fucking ass handed to him. He went from being the baddest motherfucker in the world to being a chump in like a year. Same with Ronda Rousey. Again, MMA. She was you cannot not acknowledge that she was fucking massive for like 5 years. And then she had to fucking quit because she just kept getting her head knocked off. You know, they start out great, but they don't carry all the way through. Not legends. Evel Knievel, day one to the last day, that motherfucker was still a draw. He was still dangerous. He was still reckless, and he still did it his way. Legend.
All right. Well, let's swing it back to music here.
Okay.
Tony Iommi.
A legend.
Why?
Because Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath all the way to the end.
Yeah. So did Black Sabbath with Tony Iommi at the helm? Did they ever release anything that was subpar?
Yes.
But he's still a legend. It didn't sully his legendary career.
No, because it wasn't 30 fucking years of it.
Okay.
He had a couple of albums that sucked ass, but, those Tear and, Seventh Star and shit like that. But yeah, overall, Black Sabbath has been fucking great.
Right. Well, this is the reason why I put Tony Iommi in legendary status, is because in the the late 60s when Sabbath came out, or they recorded their first tunes,
yeah,
because of his guitar style that created that doom metal,
yeah,
he was like the forefather of creating that sound.
Yeah, I agree.
So regardless if they had a shitty, even if they had let's just say that Black Sabbath was consistently putting out material in the last 20 years, would that have negated the fact that Tony Iommi is a legend?
If he'd have put out 20 years of bad music, yes, absolutely it would have. In my world, it would have.
Okay, that's why I'm asking the question.
Look, I'll give you the exact answer to that. Blue Cheer. Blue Cheer is the band that they all say is 1A of Black Sabbath for creating metal. Is anybody in Blue Cheer a legend? Fuck no. Why? Because they couldn't carry it on.
Yeah, they had they had like one release or two releases at the most.
And that was it, and they were done. Then they started working the state fair circuit. They couldn't carry it on. So just inventing it is not enough. You gotta be amazing and invent it. Everything about you has to separate you from the regular guys. That's how I look at it anyway.
All right.
They can't be, if you can compare most of their career to what everybody else is doing, they're not a legend. They're just a dude.
Okay. Well, do you want to allow fans to get in on this at all?
Sure.
Hello? The CMS phone lines are now open. Give us a call at 1-800-497-5891 and let your opinion be heard. Call now. It's 1-800-497-5891.
The Classic Metal Show.
All right.
I'm going to answer one in the chat room real quick. Slash, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why would Slash be a legend? For what?
All right. Well, let's separate two different terms here.
Okay.
Slash, icon, or legend?
I would say icon. Sure.
Okay. All right. So we want to define what an icon is as opposed to a legend.
I would say an icon is somebody that a lot of people look up to
or recognize.
A legend defined their musical style or their genre or what have you for the bulk of their career. You can't, in my world, you can't be a legend because you had one good record. You just can't. And I keep going back to the Aerosmith one because I know that's the one that you disagree fully on with me. But Steven Tyler has a 40-year career, 30 of it which is bad. If that's a fucking legend, then what does that leave Lemmy or Dio or Mick Jagger or any of those guys as?
Okay, Steven Tyler, icon or legend?
Icon.
Okay.
A lot of people would like to be him. A lot of people would like to fuck the number of women that he did, and a lot of people would like to do the drugs he did. But musically, he's no legend. He's just a dude.
All right. Dude looks like a lady?
Yeah, more and more every day.
All right. Let me think here. Who would fit into the legendary status? And you're right. Legendary, unless it's limited, it would mean nothing. I mean, if a lot of people had the distinction as being a legend, it would not mean as much.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you got to be way above everybody else to be considered a legend.
All right, well, let's go back to Dimebag. Legend or icon?
I would say legend.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I disagree.
Because Dimebag innovated a musical style, that groove metal. He never put out anything bad, and fucking people still to this day are trying to match him.
Huh.
And they're buying his guitars. Even though he's dead, they still want to buy those guitars and sound like him. He has no... I mean, where would the negative be to him? Just that he didn't have enough time?
No, I'm not saying there's a negative. I'm just saying that...
What makes him not a legend? What makes him an icon and not a legend?
I just think from a public, what do you want to call, an identity standpoint, he's more of a icon than a legend. Recognizable.
Yeah, I think he's pretty recognizable within his world, within the metal world. I mean,
well, let's take a call. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Hail and Kill, boys. It's Psycho Postman.
What's up, Psycho? It's been a while since we heard from you. I'm glad to hear that you haven't committed suicide over your divorce.
Nope. Everything's moving along pretty well.
What do you mean moving along? This isn't wrapped up by now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's wrapped up. No, I mean just life in general.
Oh, life in general is moving along.
Yeah.
So did you hire a hit person and off the bitch or what?
No.
No, you didn't. You didn't
No,
go
no,
Psycho Postman on the ex-old lady.
No. Just hit a good smooth groove and just taking it one day.
So
at a time.
so you worked it all out.
Yeah. Divorce is final, and I got the kids 3 days a week. She's got them 4. And
Did she rape your retirement?
no, I got to keep all my retirement, but she got the house.
All right.
So
Well, house can be burned down. I know a few arsonists if you want a few, numbers. But anyway,
you'll be the first one I call.
Right. Well, what's on your mind tonight? What's your thoughts?
All right. I'm just with the conversation, and I had some names pop to mind.
Okay, go ahead. Just take them one at a time. Go ahead.
Okay. Buddy Holly.
Chris?
Buddy Holly, legend.
I would definitely not be legend. I don't even know that I'd say icon. I'd just say musician.
Well, when I hear legend, it makes me think of just the word legend means someone who has a story and it carries through time and people remember them for what they did.
I'm going to go with
accomplished.
icon. I'm just going to go with icon just because he's recognizable with the glasses and all.
Right.
So, and of course, obviously, the way that he died. So I'm going to go with iconic rather than legend.
All right, fair enough. So let's bring it up a little bit further. Jimmy Page.
Chris?
Jimmy Page is... wow. He really hasn't had a bad period, but he has 30 years of nothing. So what is 30 years of nothing? Is that... I guess that's retirement?
Is he...
Well,
is
no,
he,
just for
he
what they did, all the recordings that they did while they were active. Because in my book, there's not
I
a
know
bad
that,
Zeppelin.
but I mean, what I'm saying is he hasn't had a period of writing shitty music like that would take him out. I got to say legend for Jimmy Page.
I agree.
Okay. Tom Scholz.
Tom Scholz,
He doesn't even make icon status.
part-time musician.
Okay. Well, along with that, what about Brad Delp?
No.
Legendary barbecuer.
Not even an icon.
His death is legendary.
Yeah.
I will say
His
that.
death-
Well,
yeah.
we popularized that here. By the way,
All
the
right.
Classic Metal Show brought to you by Hibachi. Hibachi Grill, the official grilling of Brad Delp and the Classic Metal Show. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, throw Kingsford and Weber in there, too. Let's see. I have a hard time with calling anybody a legend that's either still alive or wasn't coming along before this, 1970. Like, say, Clapton.
Chris? Eric Clapton.
I legend that I don't care about. I'm not a fan at all.
It doesn't matter if you're a fan. It doesn't all revolve around you, Mr. Aiken.
And that's why I'm saying I'm not a fan, but I still would have to say he's a legend. I mean, everything he's touched has been fucking huge, and so many people play guitar because of Eric Clapton. I guess he's a legend.
Okay, how about this one? How about this one? Elton John.
A legend.
Why?
Look at the gay community and what they've done just based on his costumes.
Yeah.
He's a pop
legendary
legend.
GBTQ.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the L stands for, an LGBT legend.
Any more? Don't drag it out. Come on.
Any of the Beatles.
All right, the Beatles. John Lennon. In my world, John Lennon is not a legend. In most people's, I know he is. He is an icon. Paul McCartney, I would say much closer to legend. Ringo, luckiest guy ever. That guy fucking hit the lottery. And George Harrison, icon.
Yeah.
Neeley?
All right.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say that all four Beatles all fall into the icon category for me.
No legend, huh?
No legends.
All right.
Okay, and last one, just because of his recent passing, but he's always been a favorite of mine, Tom Petty.
Icon.
Yeah, icon. Legend.
He's a legend to me.
He didn't do anything that really. He just made rock music and kind of generic at that.
Yeah, he did. He was a fan, as well. But
that doesn't make him a legend. That makes him a fan. I'm a fan.
Well, yeah. I'm just thinking of all the popular songs and how popular he was and how many people just dug his music.
Just iconic.
And just as a songwriter too.
Yeah, he's an icon.
Yeah, I'll go with icon.
All right, fair enough.
All right, glad to know you're still on the planet.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.
So, hail and kill, fuck you pals, and hand job.
All right, there goes Psycho Postman. It's been a while since we've heard from him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's a good distinction now, legend or icon.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Legend versus icon. That's definitely. Then you need that distinction, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
They can't all be legends.
That's true.
But like Elton John, legend. Fucking a goddamn gazillion records sold, a whole goddamn movement of faggotry based on his look.
Faggotry?
It is. It's faggotry. Every gay pride parade is based on a fucking Elton John stage performance.
Right.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to agree. I don't know if it was based on him or if he adopted it from them.
I don't know. I don't think they were that flim. I think him and Liberace fucking set the bar. And the parades all took from it. Once those guys could be fags and be out, then it was like, okay. Okay.
Any more?
I don't know. Who else would be around? Rolling Stones?
All right, Mick Jagger.
I gotta. When was the last time they did something good?
Icon or legend?
Definitely icon. I gotta maybe go. Wow. It's not a runaway legend for me.
Well, for me, it would be legend, and then I'm going to give you the reason why.
Go ahead, because I'm not there.
Flamboyant frontman.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people mimic or have tried to recreate or mimic what Mick Jagger does on stage, even to this day.
So would you put Bowie in that category too?
Boy, that's a tough one. I think I would have to go with icon with Bowie.
Yeah. Freddie Mercury?
Icon.
Icon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might go further with Freddie.
Okay.
That guy fucking, just because every Queen record is great, and they're so goddamn different from record to record, and to find greatness in so many styles and never dude, that record he wrote when he was dying was good.
Well, if you compare Chris Cornell to Freddie Mercury, Freddie would be definitely legendary.
Well, Chris Cornell wouldn't be qualified to carry his microphone.
You're right.
I mean, come on. I'm gonna go legend on Freddie Mercury.
All right, Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I take exception to him saying Slash wouldn't be a legend.
All right, why?
Well, he was in Guns N' Roses and had 3 good albums. Then he went out on his own and had 3 good albums. He produced like Santana and got all the artists to come to him, and he can't be a legend?
I don't know. But what he did was what a lot of people do. He's like Michael Schenker.
But Schenker never had the success Slash did.
True. I don't know. Slash. I don't get me wrong, dude. I love Slash personally. I'm the biggest proponent of his band that there is, but I just don't know. I don't know.
Slash isn't as hard as Mustaine, but Slash can also go back down into the background and come forward when needed. Mustaine is always up front.
True.
So is Schenker.
True.
So Slash is a different style of guitar player, but still.
You make a good argument. Neeley, what do you think?
I'm going to go with icon with Slash.
And why not legend?
I just look at. I agree. Slash is, and believe me, I'm in Chris's camp when I say that I love Slash as far as his work is concerned. Legendary, I don't know. I think that's just a little bit too much. Maybe after his demise, it might be looked at differently. But from an iconic standpoint, I think Slash is iconic.
Slash is really right on that cusp because I'm going to make this point that might lean him toward legend. Guns N' Roses was a 10,000-seat band, and then when Slash came back, they made the most money of any band in history based on him coming back to Guns N' Roses. So maybe that says that there's a lot of interest for him.
Well, I think most of the people were there to see Duff.
Right. All right, I'm gonna call him an icon. He's more than an icon and a little less than a legend.
All right, I'll suffer through. Thanks very much, boys. Hail and kill.
Hail and kill. Was he calling from a fish tank?
It sounded like a little bit.
He was
a speaker.
Yeah, he was calling from a fish tank. Well, it's an interesting topic.
Definitely is. Yeah, I'm gonna go icon.
There you go.
He's definitely an icon and part legend.
He's on the cusp.
Yeah, we'll see how the new album is. If it's great, then I'm gonna push him all the way up to legend.
Which one? The new new Slash?
New Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. That name that rolls right off the tongue. Jesus. Why don't they just call it Slash?
Yeah.
Sounds like some lawyer wrote that name. Good God. But yeah, they have a new album coming out next month or month after or something.
All right. How about, and I know my thoughts on this, so I'll throw this one out there. Rob Halford.
Definitely an icon. I'm sticking with icon.
Yeah, I'm going to say icon.
Because that whole period of 2 and, well, you know what? He really only had that one bad record. What else did he have bad? Really, the Mower thing, whatever that was shit, but that's only 2 out of like 50 records. Ooh. And Priest has been pretty solid all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking with icon, I guess.
I'm going to go with icon.
Yeah, icon for him. How about, Dickinson, same?
Dickinson, icon, yeah.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, very few legends. To me, there's very few legends.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the distinction. We can't just say everybody's a legend just because they fucking put out a record that we liked. Come on.
All right. Well, good discussion.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. Time for a short break.
Wow, already?
Yeah, already.
All right, good.
We're blowing through. How's the back so far?
Don't even feel it.
2 hours down.
Nice.
And Chris is hanging in.
Yeah, I'll be here tonight, I think.
So what headphones are you using tonight?
No one's?
That is Bear Headphones, brought to you by the Classic Metal Show, the official headphones of the Classic Metal Show.
That's right.
So you like them so far?
I do like them.
Have they broken in at all?
Yeah, I adjusted them a little bit and wore them. I was doing some recording this morning for the mine and Jan's singing project.
Yeah.
And I was like adjusting the headphones. I spent a lot of time fucking with the headphones today to get them to fit my head the way I want them to. So, yeah, now they're comfortable.
But they sound good, right?
Sound excellent.
I love them.
Yeah, they sound great. They're definitely booming. Next time you're here, I do got to get you to touch my fucking setup, though. For whatever reason, and it's coming out of the computer, I don't get stereo sound out into the board.
Okay.
Like play music or something. If I play anything that has like channel separation, I only hear one channel.
All right.
And I need you to fix that.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll fix that in August.
All right. Yeah, that'll work.
Make a trip over and tweak your system.
On your way home, you swing by here.
Yeah. Try to fix you right up there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Excellent. All right. You got anything you want to hear in particular?
How about, since we were talking about Slash, let's go with why can't I think of one fucking song name? Standing in the Sun from the Apocalyptic Love record.
Let me see here. Apocalyptic Love. Let's see if I have that. Slash? Here.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you, Slash? Oh, here it is. There it is. Apocalyptic Love.
Yes.
And it's, what is it?
Standing in the Sun.
Standing in the Shadows?
No, in the sun.
All right. We'll hear some Slash. We'll play a couple of tunes. We'll be back. It's Standing in the Sun exclusively here
On your Classic Metal Show.